Welcome to Beyond Astro K. I hope the messages serve you well. Hello everyone, this is Nikki K and welcome to Beyond Astro K podcast. So guys, today I'm going to be bringing you the solar eclipse which is happening in Gemini on the 11th of June. So this solar eclipse is pretty powerful eclipse because we have a lot of energies that is in Gemini. You know, the sun's in Gemini, but also going with like the whole Gemini theme, there is a conundrum of energies that is Gemini, like mutable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit about what this sort of means, what's going to be happening, what the planets are saying. Then also, as you can see, we have these cards here. Then I'll be talking about what they represent for this eclipse. And afterwards, I'll be giving all the signs a moon card reading. I think it's definitely we all need like a moon card reading because it's a solar eclipse. So I just picked out some cards for each sign, what they can work with. So, you know, if you guys need to come back for the, you know, if you want to come back for, you know, that energy reading again, you can. But before I do that, I'd just like to say thank you very much, guys, for listening to my channel. And, you know, don't forget to check out Empath Butterflies Tarot, who does readings, general and love for all the signs, and Nata for Days, who interviews people who are, you know, navigating their way during the pandemic, and how they're like basically starting their life again. Okay, so I made quite a lot of notes for this because it's a big one. Like I said, it's got a lot of energies that is to do with the Gemini and also just the mutables in general, the mutable signs, which is Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo. So, you know, this solar eclipse, you know, like I said, the huge emphasis, I'm going to say this again, guys, the huge emphasis is on Gemini. And, you know, there's a lot of planets. And when I looked at like the chart for this, a lot of the planets are in the 10th house. Now, the 10th house is to do with is the highest house in the chart. The 10th house rules status. It rules your career. It rules how you're going to shine. It also rules bosses. So, you know, we have the North Node there, the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, all there. And, you know, what this shows us with this eclipse and also what we can work towards, especially when we are releasing, when we are hoping for, you know, greatness to come back in, because the node is a karmatic time. And with the, you know, with the North Node being in the 10th house, the highest house, there's going to be a lot of karmatic, strange things that can actually come. So this is about us working towards a goal and, you know, having success. We also want to be free, maybe, you know, freedom. There's a lot of emphasis on freedom. I do feel this on a worldly level is because of what's going on in the world. You know, I've said this again, guys. Please don't call me a broken record, but I am a broken record. We are in a new world, okay? We are starting to see what's happening in this world now, hence the world card. But we have basically shifted into a new world. So when we do shift into something new, that's when the old has to leave for the new beginnings to come. So, you know, when I talk about freedom, this freedom that could be happening between now and December in terms of like work, it's like self-employment. I think a lot of us Astro and Tarot people have been talking about that a lot. So there's lots of, there's an emphasis on freedom. We want to be free to leave our house as well. But, you know, other energies highlight in general for all of us will be like, like emotionally, we could kind of feel, you know, kind of quite balanced, confident, and also being popular, feeling also attractive during this time. I know it sounds strange, but this is what I picked up, the emphasis on feeling attractive, you know, high manifestations in definitely what we want because of the confidence that we're going to be having during this time. But also we would want too much. There's also an emphasis we want a lot, but we're also going to want way too much, more than we can actually handle. We will have, like, I feel there's going to be a lot of like vitality, you know, especially in how we look. This is to do with, like, you know, dressing up, you know, changing our appearance. This eclipse will definitely encourage us to learn more about ourselves and others. So that's about asking questions. You know, always ready to be on the move, ready to move always onto the next thing as well, but not necessarily listening. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of messages, a lot of downloads that are going to be happening during this time as well. So because we're going to be so invested in learning, there's not that much time to listen. So there's always an emphasis on this of starting things, lots of like high energy to start things and not complete them. And also, you know, having lots of conversations. We also have Saturn in Aquarius. It sort of trines it, not a whole lot, but remember, Saturn's in Aquarius, so this will actually help us when it comes to like responsibilities and also accepting responsibilities. There's also, you know, being cautious in our job and also in our finances. But also Saturn gives us patience and discipline. Other themes I looked at, because I think it's really important when you're looking at what happens in a transit, what aspects are happening. The rising sign to we are in a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, but the rising sign to this solar eclipse in Gemini is Virgo. Okay, and this squares it. This actually does square it. So Virgo and Gemini, they actually are ruled by Mercury. So this is like a big Mercury eclipse. So the rising sign is Virgo, and the feeling is on, you know, analytical. Yeah, so how we present ourselves. Remember, the rise is how we present ourselves. So the feeling that I feel a lot of us are going to be having is being very analytical, quite reserved, but also taking care of business, especially in work. And between now and 6 months, I'm also seeing like work and health is going to be of high importance. So, you know, what we can expect to see a lot of is like really changing up our daily routines, changing up our routines that actually will suit us. And some of us actually would actually want to be working alone, especially if we work in a huge group of people. Not a lot's been getting done. There's too much talking, too much conversations. We could decide, actually, I want to work alone, or even in a small team. We're also working differently, working towards our energy, so that, you know, especially when we're changing up our routine, especially when it comes to health. This is like, you know, yoga, stretching, running instead of walking, looking more into what we're eating as well. I feel that there's going to be a huge emphasis on like meditation, because anxiety is going to definitely be very high during this eclipse between now and December. And so I feel that a lot of us will be looking into like changing up how we are working out, changing up our, you know, our fitness, making it a bit more enjoyable, on one hand. But on the other hand, I do feel some of us are going to be changing up our, you know, fitness routines. That is going to be more of a routine base. It's going to be of more importance, because mental health is going to be prevalent during this time. So, you know, so we're going to be doing things to like combat anxiety. You know, we are in, or I think we've just left mental health month. I still believe that we are in mental health month, because Gemini is a sign of anxiety, and so is Virgo. So this is going to carry through until December. And we're also going to hear a lot about people speaking about their mental health, and how they and also when it comes to like depression, anxiety, and also, you know, Virgo is ruled by the, you know, the body. So I have a feeling, you know, what could happen. Remember, this is not gonna happen, but what could happen is also, you know, people or like society will be looking into how food affects their health, how food affects their mindset. It's not going to be easy though, because remember, Virgo is a sign that's quite cautious, does things, can do things quite slowly, but it makes sure it's about the details. So we'll be looking more into probably being like more doing investigating work on how food actually food and exercise actually helps combat like negativity that we all have. So that's what I think could happen. So like I said, anxiety is going to play a major part, but also, you know, there's a cautiousness, especially when we go out. You know, Virgo's about the health, so it's about being very diligent in wearing the mask, washing our hands, and also, you know, like I said, it is about fitness, about self-care, huge emphasis on self-care, and also helping people, you know, helping others, being a bit more charitable. And you know, like, you know, the rising sign to this eclipse is Virgo, so we could also appear, you know, calm and collected, but also very shy. So there's an element of shyness. But once we get comfortable, there will be a lot that we're going to be offering to people, to our friends, and to the world too. So guys, the other themes to this is, so those are like the major what I want to talk about. And also, you know, let's get to the cards, because, you know, I can talk about this all day, guys, you know, but I know that some of you guys are very busy. So let's get to the cards. So as we know, I've talked about the Hermit card, which is the rising sign of Virgo. The Virgo is the rising sign of this eclipse. So, you know, the rising sign, it does also represent, you know, going back again, but, you know, going with the theme of what this eclipse represents. So this will be about us, you know, the rising sign is showing us that, you know, we have to really think during this time about taking our next steps by being quite cautious and having a level of caution. And, you know, thinking before we act. We can appear quite, you know, controlled in any types of situation, but also, you know, this is also about us setting up, you know, having like a routine day to day. And, you know, there's also, I feel that there's going to be lots of starting new things, but in a way that is comfortable to us. And also when we do start things during this eclipse, we're going to really go over and over what we're going to be doing. We have the Sun card, and the Sun, it conjuncts Mercury. So the Sun, it conjuncts the Magician, and the Magician is actually Mercury card. Okay, so what this represents for this eclipse is that there's a huge emphasis on our thinking and communication. You know, thoughts will be to do with like traveling short distance, definitely in how we speak in. This is to do with like our neighborhood, our siblings as well. You know, remember guys, we are in retrograde, so this could make us really take a step back, thinking before we're speaking. You know, the cards are asking us to do one thing at a time, because there is a lot of energy that is overconfidence as well. You know, we also do have a lot of skills and talents to show the world, because the Magician card is a manifestation card. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of manifestations. A lot of us are going to be writing stuff down. We're going to also, I feel that during this time that there'll be a lot more writers coming out, or a lot more bloggers, a lot more podcasts coming out. Okay, but we do have to, you know, during this time, it is, you know, we are in a, you know, retrograde. So any ideas that come up, any ideas that come up, but also any ideas that we want to start, we're going to have to sort of just write it down and leave it. But when it does go direct, then we can start to pursue it, because this eclipse is no joke, okay? And also this is a conjunction. But, you know, also what we start now may not actually be able to, we may not be able to move forward as well. But we can also, you know, feel very frustrated during this time, you know, because this is a karmatic time. This is a karmatic time for a lot of us to be learning. The solar eclipse in Gemini, it squares Neptune, okay? So, and also it squares, sorry, the solar eclipse, it does square Neptune, and it squares Mercury, okay? So we have the sun, you know, conjunct Mercury. We also have the solar eclipse, which is the sun. It squares Neptune. So what does this mean for us? Well, I think we already know, guys. I think a lot of you are actually feeling this in your mind. So, you know, this is to do with like our vitality is not really the best now because of the square to Neptune. Whatever comes into our life, you know, whatever we're thinking, it can actually be very distorted. You know, our feelings, even like our confidence, could be quite low. We're not going to be feeling our best. There could be a lot of asking questions. Do I look nice? Are you sure this is fine? This is to do definitely within personal relationships. And also, we may not hear the truth during this time. So it is best that when we are communicating with people, we keep it very simple, because we're going to be hearing lots of gossip, lots of scandals. And also we have to be very mindful of what we're hearing, whatever we're picking up, okay? And also it is best at this time to try and be as honest as you can. We're going to be hearing a lot. Remember, Gemini rules journalism. So we're going to be hearing a lot of what's going to be happening in the media. We're not going to know what to believe. Like in London, we're having the 21st of June. It's supposed to be Freedom Day. So at the moment, what's happening is a lot of confusion that's coming up. You know, people have gone on holiday and there's lots of confusion as to how they can come back. So that's just like an example of what's going on. So, you know, there's a lot of like confusion going on, but also, you know, deception as well. So be mindful of when we are, you know, it's going to be really strange between now and December, because, you know, we just have to try and be as honest as we can. It's not going to be very easy because we can also forget what we actually said. So yes, deception can actually happen. And also the Hangman, which is a Neptune card, it also cautions, like when dealing in business, you know, definitely seek professional advice, professional guidance, because, you know, when we're reading a contract, we may think it's clear, but then we forget to read the small print, okay? And also, you know, we may have thought that was what it was said. We sign it, and next thing you know, we signed away our life. So, you know, go over things. We are in retrograde, so get a professional. If you're still not clear, seek a second opinion, okay? This is about going over things as well. So, you know, like I said, there can be some, you know, going over things, making sure things are correct, keeping, you know, trying to keep things simple. That includes when we're speaking to like our, you know, friends, when we're speaking to our siblings as well. Yes, so the, you know, the Hangman card is, you know, this is what it's cautioning us. But also, guys, you know, there is a good thing. There is a good thing to this. As, you know, this is two mutable signs. Yeah, they clash. You know, this is like a 4th house and a 10th house going on. So this is to do with like the families, do with like the business and our career. So, you know, try to keep away from gossip. You know, because sometimes the gossip, you can hear about it, it can affect you, like emotionally can affect you, but also you could be the subject of gossip, especially if you're gossiping. But we are human, so there's a lot of that be going on. And also, this also rules addictions. Some people could be going back to addiction. Some people could be struggling to not be getting rid of addictions too, as well. So obviously speak to someone if, you know, if it gets too hard as well. But also, this is a great time to be doing like a spiritual practice that can actually help with this eclipse. Because like I said before, you know, anxiety, mental disorders are going to be very heightened. So this is like, you know, speaking to someone like a counselor or your friend, but also implementing a spiritual practice. Not only will this ground us, but it will also protect us. You know, so anything like Reiki, you know, meditation, a guided meditation, body scans, also, you know, this will also like, you know, protect like your aura too. So, and also anything like poetry, painting, you know, writing down your feelings, doing thoughts, you know, getting creative, which will really help. So like I said, you know, I do see that there'll be a lot more new writers coming up during this time too, and new, you know, people that are doing new blogs, new writing. And you know, I do feel at this moment there are people out there that actually want to spread like the real truth, but it is you know, because it is retrograde, there is a lot of like mind-boggling things going on. So I do see, I'm actually visioning now, I do see a lot of people actually writing things down, you know, getting like the truth out there, but it's not the right time to, or just writing it down personally, but when the time is right, they're going to be putting it out there. So expect to see a lot more of people from like different, you know, backgrounds coming up with new creativity to show the world as well. Like I said, may not see it now, but when it does go direct, we'll see more of it. The big one that we have during this time, this solar eclipse, is, you know, the Saturn square Uranus. Okay, so Saturn is the world card, it squares Uranus, the Fool card. So guys, this is going to be the second act. We had the first act in February, you know, so there are definitely changes happening during this eclipse. So not only are we working with our, you know, our health and our career and our creativity and protecting ourselves and, you know, trying to keep our mind straight, we also have a huge change in our life. So this is the second act. So there are lots of changes, and either the changes that we want to come into our life or we don't want into our life. Regardless, it's going to be a change. So some of us can become really angry and really frustrated, and you know, that is also to do with that we cannot control the narrative. So if people are very open to control, if people are very open to change, you'll be fine. People that get really angry and get really frustrated that they can't control people or control the narrative, this will very much not harm you, but very much hinder you in some way. This is definitely a time to stay open-minded and try not to be negative, and also see that things that are changing in our life is more of an opportunity. The Saturn card, the world card, is showing us that, you know, the world is definitely changing, if not slowly. We will see, but we'll still have to be very cautious, okay? Because remember, this is a Saturn card. Plan wisely and don't jump head into things, you know, because, you know, when confidence overtakes us, this is what we can do. We can we can just jump into it. But the Saturn world card also cautions us to, you know, the world is changing for the better, but we still have to be very mindful. The Fool Uranus card is showing us that, you know, it's time to be very open-minded and see that changes that can come in quick speed. It can come very quickly, but also there is a need to like improve ourselves on a worldly level. What is supposed to be will definitely be, but also, you know, the change that will become will be quite, you know, there'll be like a sort of like strategic change that's going to be happening for all of us. And also, what once has fallen is meant to fall. And also, like I said, this is, you know, like this is the first act was like the beginning. We're in the second act. So this is like the middle of the story that is actually happening. I do feel, because the strong one to the Saturn Uranus square is like Saturn is obviously the winner, okay? But if we work too much with the world and try to change things by ourselves, then the Uranus card will sort of switch things up in a way that will also shock us to the core. If we work too much with the Fool card and not with the Saturn card, the Saturn card will sort of put us in our brakes during this time. So it's like I said, this is a powerful eclipse that's happening for all of us. You know, the main theme is we are going to be learning a lot about ourselves and the world, but also we have to try and remain as open-minded as we can, because this is a mutable time, and mutable is about communication, mutable is about change. So change is going to definitely be inevitable between now and December. So, you know, when I go through all the signs, what messages that you could work with between now and December. I know I keep saying now to December because it is for 6 months. We have the lunar eclipse, that's for 6 months too. So, you know, we have to, I do believe that we have to try and remember that whatever has come into our life and what's left our life is supposed to be. And regardless if it's very slow burning or regardless of whether it's very quick, we're going to be learning from it too. Okay, so another thing that we can actually work with, especially when it comes to like essential oils, will be, you know, like I'm very drawn to lavender, because lavender will help shut off like that mental chatter. It will also help us, you know, remain calm. It will also help us get a very good night's sleep. And, you know, it will also help us to, you know, help with like any type of like anxiety disorders that I believe that a lot of us will have. Even if you're like you're the most calmest of people, you know, the energies that are going to be flowing very quickly, or it will be slow build, but then it will just start going around and around. This will cause like an upset in the body and upset in the mind. So lavender is one of the essential oils that I will be using, but it's a guide for you guys to use as well. So obviously check with your practitioner or your doctor, you know, because lavender may not be for everyone. It could actually make some people quite anxious, but on the whole, it is to lower anything that will heighten things too much for us. So lavender is one. The stones I'm working with as well, you know, it's going to be quite hard for a lot of us to connect to our heart. So these are rose quartz. I love rose quartz. This actually connects us to the heart, especially when it comes to like creativity. You know, we're going to be having lots of downloads, lots of mental downloads on what we should do next during this eclipse season. So, you know, this is about having like that pen and paper beside you, you know, because, you know, especially when, you know, with Saturn square Uranus, we're going to have lots of, you know, quick and fruitful creativity that's going to be like, okay, oh my God, I'm going to do this. Instead of doing it during this time, it's a time to just write it down. So when things settle down, when we have that direct energy, then we can actually work on it or try to work on it in a way. But we do have to complete what we start as well. Because this is, like I said, this is a very much a karmatic time. So, you know, especially when set intentions for like, you know, the main thing we should be setting intentions for is to be open to change, open to what's meant to be in our life now, open to, you know, being open to seeing that, you know, this, I don't want this in my life, and I'm open for a new beginning to actually happen for me. It's not going to be very easy, guys, but, you know, we just, as long as we try, you know, trying is definitely the main thing as well. So with that being said, I'm going to be doing the cards for everyone, you know. So I hope that these messages have helped you. So let's do the cards now. So let's start off with, I'm going to be doing the axes. So that is the axes is the oppositions of the signs. So let's start off with Gemini and Sagittarius. So So you two are the stars of the show. This is in your 1st and 7th houses. And you know, you're going to have some crazy action going on during this time in your 10th and 4th houses. So what does this mean for you? Wow. This is going to be, you know, this is going to be highlighting situations concerning, like, you know, yourself, you know, your image, how you're portraying yourself to the world. Also your physical, your physicality, but also your relationships. So then, you know, when the lunar eclipse was in your 1st and 7th houses, there were themes that you had to release, and now you've made a way for something new to come in. So this could be, especially for you, Gemini, a new, you know, a new way of working, a new job. There could be things eclipsed out of your job when it concerning, like a boss, for instance. And for you, Gemini, and for you, Sagittarius. But also, I feel a lot of you Geminis could start to like do like a new practice, like changing your image, finding a new way to work for yourself as well. Some of you could actually start to work by yourself, you know, self-employment. But also, you know, physically changing, like dyeing your hair, or, you know, going to the gym, making yourself more beautifying yourself. This could obviously be a long time coming. And for you, Sagittarius, there's like a new job that could happen. There could be like a new legislations and work that are implemented that actually works better for you. Or you could actually decide yourself to, you know, switch up when it comes to your job. You may even have a new opportunity in your job. This could also be a promotion. You know, there could be some stresses and strains that comes when it is concerning like your home life during this eclipse and your career. There could be lots of headaches. Things may not become clear. There may be things that you have to fix. You know, reading the small print. You know, builders coming to the home, for instance. There may be some issues going on in the home front. But, you know, you may not feel that you have time to do it. When these issues come up, it is actually a time to actually sort it out so you can move on to the next level. So the moon eclipse cards that you guys have is, you have, it's time to take action and believe in the impossible, because during these times, guys, you know, Sagittarius and Gemini, there's new opportunities that are definitely going to be coming up. You know, a lot of you, I feel, will feel no way to actually take action, you know, but also believe, you know, if there's opportunities that come for you, Gemini, believe that it's going to actually work, because, you know, you have the Magician card, which is your, you know, your Mercury card. This is going to highlight, you know, wishes and dreams that you've actually wanted for a very long time, and then actually going to be fulfilled. So it's time to believe in the impossible, even if you write things down. And for you, Gemini, and for you, Sagittarius, as well, you know, whatever stresses and strains that comes when it comes to like your personal life and also your home life, you know, believe that things will actually work out for itself. It's not the time to just try and just run away from it. Really try and deal with it now. So these are the cards that you guys are to believe. And it's a new moon in Aries, and it's a blue moon. So these are pretty powerful cards. Definitely a new beginning for you guys to work with now. Cancer and Capricorn. This is in your 12th and 6th houses. So for you two, I feel that it's a time that is going to be more introspective, but also wanting to get a lot of work done as well. Making sure, you know, we're very structured in what we're doing during this eclipse season. So, you know, when it was the lunar eclipse, This is about letting something go when it came to like your health and your routines, and also, you know, something that you know, any type of addictions, or you know, things that were just harming you. But now we are in a new solar eclipse. There's new beginnings actually going to be coming. So I feel for a lot of you Cancers, this is going to be a new beginning, that you guys could actually be working on something behind the scenes. It could be creative, it could be learning, it also could be reading up on some spiritual books, or books that you can actually learn from. Your beliefs are definitely going to be changing now as well. And you know, some of these themes that a lot of you Cancers wanted to do for a while, but now is that time. It's like the final act, that you're going to probably get your act together and do it. For you Capricorns, this is going to be a great time to, you know, really set like a timetable for yourself, especially if you've communicated in a way that no one's actually listened to you at work. You know, if there's lots of, you know, if you find yourself working really hard but you're not really getting your due, you can start to get your due now. But that's only because you have communicated your truth. You've communicated so that people can actually listen to you now. There may have been some misunderstandings on what your role is, but now things will be more clear because you've actually been that boss, shown people what you're about. So guys, the cards that you have is, you have don't let pride get in the way, and what do you need to release? So the card messages for you two is not letting pride get into it. That means not going back to the old way of doing things. And you know, it's a full moon in Leo card and a waxing moon. So, you know, Leo is about pride. Leo actually was your second house Cancer. So this is about pride. It's about not doing things the old way, not going back to, you know, because there are going to be, because the 12th house is a very spiritual house. So there will be energies and emotions that actually come up. You could be seeing them in a different way than they actually are. But that's to do with you not seeing the truth. So this is about not letting pride get into the way, Cancer. See the truth. You know, no, this is a time for you to sort of, you know, move forward, but in a spiritual way. And, you know, for you Capricorns, you know, it says, what do you need to release? Releasing the old ways of doing things. I do feel with Capricorn and Cancers, you maybe find it quite hard to release at this moment more. You may be resisting the new energies, the new opportunities that come. But that's to do with fear. That's to do with not wanting to upset the apple cart. But, you know, this is time to enjoy what's going to be happening. This is a time to, you know, try and be open-minded to the new beginnings that will be coming spiritually with your work, but spiritually with your routines as well. And, you know, I feel for a lot of you Capricorns, this is a great time to, like, you know, work with your energy, but also work with, like, you know, looking at what you're eating, looking at your, you know, because Virgo rules the 6th house is the body. So looking at, you know, how you are moving your body, if you're moving your body enough. And if not, now's that new energy and that new time to be doing that. Okay. Leo and Aquarius, you guys are going to have it pretty good, because this is going to be in your 11th and 5th house. So these energies, this is a new beginning for you guys to be, you know, having new goals, new friendships, working in new organizations. Some of you Leos could be really, like, you know, wanting to, like, be, you know, really, you know, doing some like humanitarian work or learning. You know, this is also to be like computers, and also, you know, like technology. So if you are doing any like social media work, Leos. This is a great time to be learning how to like do some editing. If you've always wanted to edit, no one can push you, Leo. If you've always wanted to improve like your social media profile, this is a great time to learn to do that. This could be in a group. This could also be with people that you know that you can actually learn from. They could actually be younger because you know you're the teenager of the zodiac. So if you've got the funds, you know, they can teach you some new skills and it could just blow up your profile. For you, Aquarius, this is great for your 5th house. This is a great time for you guys to get really creative now. And, you know, if you have kids as well, you know, spending more time with your kids, but in a very creative way. This could be like a new beginning for you. Or if some of you want to start a family, this could actually happen between now and December. But also, I feel that, you know, during this time, you two, because you guys are going to probably have a blast. But, you know, there are some, you know, obviously, you know, Saturn's in your sign, Aquarius, and Leo is opposing your 7th house of relationships. So, you know, there could be some issues there, but nothing that you can't really deal with. Especially, you know, the craziness that could happen would be to do with like your earnings, your joint finances, and your money. So, but you know, if Leos, you wanted to like join a new organization, there may be, you have to probably spend, you know, some money to join it. And that may be to dip into your savings, you know, your finances with your joint partnership, and that might cause a bit of argument. Or, you know, money could be going out, you don't know where it's gone, you know. So it's about looking back, retracing your steps. And for you, Aquarius, you know, there could be lots of expenditure coming out during this time, because you might have to pay for a lot of the creativity that you're doing. That might be, you know, you might have to buy a lot of stuff if you're going to be doing something new, like, I don't know, painting, or, you know, especially if you have kids, they want this and they want that. So this is a time for receipts, guys. This is definitely a time for receipts. And also working with any type of like deep emotional issues that come up as well. The cards that you two have is, you know, you're very close to achieving your goal, and it's time to release any negativity. So for you, Leos, anything, you know, I feel this is a great manifestation time for a lot of you Leos. You know, especially I feel a lot of, because you know the sun, you're ruled by the sun, and you know, this is definitely going to be highlighting and changing up things. So, you know, with this card saying you're very close to achieving your goals, I do think it's going to be something new you're going to be working with, Leos. You know, the moon energy and the sun, especially the sun as well, is going to be shining a light on things that you've actually missed, something you've actually wanted to always do. But not that you were afraid to do it, but it's just that you were, you know, not really sure. There might have been some insecurity there. So, you know, whatever you're going to be doing is actually going to help you achieve a higher goal. And for you, Aquarius, it's time to release any negativity that you're not good enough. You know you've got Saturn in your 1st house, so that can actually restrict what you're actually bringing out. So during this eclipse time, you know, this is about for you to release anything you feel that you're not creative in, Sagittarius. Know that you are good at what you, even if your mind is coming out with crazy creative ideas, think that you can do it. Don't think that, oh, I'm not really sure, I need to think about this. Just do it, you know. But also, you know, we are in retrograde season, so you may want to write any ideas that come up now, and you know, once it goes direct, that's when you can proceed forward. So, you know, you guys are definitely going to be achieving your goals, but you know, it's about releasing. You know, you guys are fixed, so you tend to fixate, you tend to like hold on, you guys tend to, this is a general, but you guys tend to sort of go back what you used to do, but it's about moving forward, because you guys are going to be learning a hell of a lot this time. Virgo and Pisces. So you two are going to be squared during this time. You know, Gemini and Sagittarius squares you. But when you're getting squared, it doesn't mean that things can't work. It can work. You just have to put more energy into it. You have to put more of your, put yourself more out there. So this is in your 10th and 4th houses. So this is about your guys' career and your home life. During this solar eclipse is a new beginning that's coming with your career. So even if I do talk about one sign the other, it actually affects both houses. So for you, Virgo, this is to do with like a new career, a new goal, you know, a new job. This job could be like within your area of expertise. It could be to do with writing. You know, this could be to do with like paying attention to detail. You know, some of you could actually be promoted if you're working, being a boss. You know, your boss could actually really take a shine to what you're actually doing and think, oh, this is really good. You know, because you could be working really hard, really diligently. For you Pisces, a new beginning when it comes to your home life. Well, I feel some of you Pisces have actually learned quite a bit. I feel both of you actually, but you know, Pisces, I feel that you've learned a lot. You know, if you're doing like a home business or trying to run a home business, you know, some of you actually picked up some skills, and these skills could actually help within a new job. So anything to do with like computers, editing, writing, you know, learning about anything to do with like, you know, what was the word? My mind just went blank. But you know, if it's like coming to do with like building up houses and, you know, selling them off or just learning about it. If you guys are applying for a job, this can actually come, or a new surprising job could actually come during this time. But you know, not to say there's no issues when it concerning like your relationships and like your physical self. There could be some insecurities when it comes to relationships during this eclipse time. And, you know, things may not become clear. You may be striving for balance. The communication could be off as well. Some of you could be, you know, viewing yourself very differently to how you actually are. But remember, this is like an illusion. It is a retrograde season. So if these themes come up, you know, just, you know, some of you may actually go within and actually start asking yourself some questions. So the cards that you two have is, you know, balance, spirituality, and practicality. So for you, Virgo, you know, especially even though this is in your 10th house, it's like the highest house. So, you know, this is shining on your career. So if things just get a little bit too hard during this time, this is, you know, some of you may go in because, you know, this is, you're ruled by the Hermit, and this rising sign of this eclipse is in your first house. So even, you know, the solar eclipse shines itself on your career. But if things get a bit too much, you may want to start to be that hermit. You may want to go within, you know, ask, you know, if things, especially if things just get too busy within the mind, time to, you know, take some time out, go for a walk, do some type of, it doesn't have to be a necessary spiritual practice, but it's more of alone time so that you can ground, you know. So you're going to be very, you know, this balance, spirituality and practicality. I think you're going to be more practical during this time, but then you're going to have to balance it with being spiritual. So this is for you to, you know, especially reading. Especially, remember, this is an eclipse. That's a Mercury eclipse. So if things get too really busy at work, if things just get, you know, you're getting extra busy during this time, This will be a great time for you to ground spiritually, whether it's reading or writing down your thoughts, because you know it's Mercury, or speaking to people that are close to you during this time. That will actually help with that. That's a kind of spiritual practice, I feel, for a lot of you Virgos. For you Pisces, that you and your loved ones are safe. So you know this is about the home, Pisces. This is about your home life. Any themes that come up within the home, it's a new beginning, so know that you are safe. I feel a lot of you Pisces during this time will be doing lots of like spiritual work, okay, because the fourth house is about self-care. So if you are doing it, continue to do it, keep manifesting, you know. I affirm that you are safe, your loved ones are safe as well. If things seem uneven when it's concerning yourself, ground yourself, take it from your Virgo, you know, your Virgo sister or brother, you know, get spiritual, ground yourself, you know. Again, if you're busy at work as well, things get too busy within the home, ground yourself. And even like I said before, even though it is to do with your, you know, even though it's like Pisces 4th house and Virgo 10th house, it could switch the other way as well. Similar themes can definitely come up as well. So even though it does square you guys, it's still quite powerful too. Libra and Aries, this is your 9th and 3rd house. So you guys are also going to get it very well, because you know this is especially you Libra, Libra, this is going to be about your your beliefs, higher learning. This is a new energy and a new time to be learning something you've always thought about learning, you know. I feel for a lot of you Libra, and especially the lunar eclipse, you know, there's probably lots of communication you was doing with people or releasing when it came to like any type of learning you wanted to do. Now we are in the solar eclipse, something new is going to be coming, so that's a new teaching, this could also do with publishing. Some of you Libra can actually start doing lots of writing now, you know, aligning yourself with people that are from different cultures. Also, again, I feel a lot of technology work is going to be going on with a lot of you Librans. And also for you Aries, this is about your communication, how you communicate in short distance traveling. It maybe there was things that you had to release when it came to like your belief system, but there's a new time for you to learn. It's a new time for a lot of you Aries to not only communicating, but you know, writing as well. You know, it's not to say there's some issues when it comes to like your, you know, your routines and your spiritual practice too. You know, remember we're in Mercury retrograde, so you know, some of you probably trying to restructure when it comes to, you know, when it comes to like the body, and also when it comes to your, you know, your physical self, but also like a spiritual practice. So if you've been trying to do that, keep trying, you know. Obviously don't push it too much, but it's a new way, a way of life. It feels like it could be a new way that you guys have never even envisioned before. So continue to do it, but it's a nice time to be learning and actually, you know, doing even like if it's like a new job for you Aries and Libras, this is a great time, you know. And it may not come now, you may have ideas in your heads now, but once it goes direct, this will be a time to sort of implement what you actually want to do. It could be a new career for a lot of you. The cards that you guys have is a personal issue reaches a resolution. Full moon in Cancer card, and you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo card. So this is like a combination of endings for you guys. You know, for you Libra, the personal issue, and I feel that the personal issue that that have been on you guys' mind. I feel that you guys are so grateful for it because you don't like conflict. So it's a new, I feel the personal issue could be a work issue. It could be, excuse me, to do with like contracts. It could be to do with like a relationship. There may not have been, there could be a lot of silence going on. I feel that this also could be to do with like the retrograde season. So it's going to reach a conclusion now, and there's a lot of relief coming, and this solar eclipse is going to bring a lot of relief to a lot of you Librans, you know, because a new time, it's a new way of working, a new way of learning, a higher learning, okay? And it just feels like more of relief for a lot of you. And for you Aries, you know, knowing that you're good enough, if you enter the new job or enter like a new type of learning or teaching, or if you're learning something, know you're good enough. You know, you may not be able to catch up fast like a lot of people, but you are good enough. You know that you can catch up, but in your own way. This is an endings for you guys, because full moons are about endings, and it's a Virgo and a Cancer endings. This could also be to do with your, you know, finances. Okay, this could be to finances. This could be like any type of like hidden trauma or something from the past, you know, that was hindering you. It made both of you feel quite insecure. It's now ended. You've got a resolution, and you know, things are moving in the right direction now. Last but not least, we have Scorpio and Taurus. So you two, this is in your money houses, yeah? So, you know, when we had the lunar eclipse, it was a releasing happening when it came to like joint finances, finding new ways to earn money, but also thinking about, you know, why we spend the way we do. If there's lots of money going out, there's not a lot of money coming in. It was a time to like restructure. Now we're in a new way, a new beginning. So I feel for a lot of you Scorpios, this is going to be a very much a creative way that you're going to be, you know, when it comes to like joint finances, it's like a creative way that you guys are going to be, you know, saving money. I also feel for a lot of you Scorpions, you know, you're ruled by the 8th house, and Taurus is ruled by the 2nd house. So this is like you lot's houses, guys. You know, you lot are gonna be in like your this is you lot's thing. You guys are used to this, but it's not to say you're gonna be very emotional. I feel for a lot of you Scorpions, there may be, not maybe, I feel that there's gonna be of, you know, you're still releasing, you're still trying to get over something, but it's concerning like a personal relationship. When it comes to like new beginnings, when it comes to like finances, this, you know, this could be like an inheritance. An inheritance can come that you never even knew. So this is like dealing with paperwork. You could be dealing with the government. Also, you know, eclipses does rule like money from others. So this could be government money. You know, there could be more money coming in. But also, this also is to do with debt. So there may be an overpayment that you have to work, but you can work with it in a creative way. I feel for you Tauruses, you're ruled by the 2nd. So this would be a great time. Some of you Taurus could actually find new and improved ways to be, you know, not only working, you know, doing the job you're doing, but, you know, doing like more, finding more ways to like increase your income. So that's like a skill that you have, but really look at the skills that you have. I feel that you guys could be thinking a lot, but not really doing anything. So this is a great time for a lot of you Tauruses to, you know, really buckle down. You know, there's energy, especially with the solar, there's some energies that are going on with the square that is to do with like your 5th and 11th houses. So this is a, even though it's a square, these houses are really nice because it's about creativity and friendships. So this is a great time to like get really creative when it comes to like your finances, but also, you know, if you have a lot of friends, you know, this is how a great way to like build resources in a very creative way, in a dynamic way, in a new way. But also, you know, one, you might be the boss of it, you know, so that there's no money going out that you don't know about. Obviously, there's contracts that need to be signed. This is about looking over the small print, okay? Because this can hinder you for the next 6 months. So the cards that you guys have is the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So for you, Scorpio, you know, like I said, I feel that you guys are still working on like releasing, but you know that the end is nigh. So the full moon in Capricorn, because Capricorn is, you know, you and Capricorns get on very well. You know, you learn a lot from Capricorns. So I feel that a lot of you are going to be learning a hell of a lot during this solar eclipse in Gemini. Learning a lot when it comes to like deep psychological within yourself. Think finding the ways that you've done things is about, you know, working with it instead of like pushing it to the back burner. I also feel that, you know, the end of a tough cycle that you Scorpions having to deal with is, you know, any type of like the darkness of yourself, the shadow side of yourself. You know, if you feel that you have to use like a ways to get what you want, whether it's through like manipulation or like controlling others, you know, the shadow side of yourself, I feel that's going to be ending now. You know, you're shedding your skin, a new way is coming. So continue to keep shedding your skin, but also know that, you know, we all have that light and dark side. Know when to use it, basically. And you know, this eclipse will highlight, you know, why you are the way you are, but also making you know that um whatever insecurities or sensitivities that come up, it is because you're human. But you know, it's for you to learn from, because this is a learning solar eclipse. So anything that comes up, it's about learning, Scorpio. It's not to be buried, but also it's for you to also talk about what's going on as well on a deep emotional level, because there's obviously things that you still need to work on. For you, Taurus, this is the energy is gaining momentum. It's a waxing moon. So lots of energy when it's connecting to, like, you know, your self-worth. You know, I feel a lot of you Tauruses are actually really happy to be in, you know, what's going on now. I feel that you guys could feel actually very, you know, at home, you know, but also there is a new energy that is actually coming up, and some of you Tauruses could be like hiding it, like brushing it away, but some of you Tauruses are actually waiting to release it. And this solar eclipse is going to be, you know, pushing you forward, you know, pushing you to, you know, whether it's seek self-employment, seeking another job, seeking something that you know that you're actually good at. It's actually pushing you to really go there for it. And you know, whether it's with people as well, or is whether you're working by yourself, it's for you to actually go there. It's for you to actually gain confidence, know that things are going to be okay as well. Even if things are rough in the beginning, it doesn't mean you have to give up. It's still like move forward, because you know, we have the Uranus square in your first house, and this is make you come out of your comfort zone. So a lot of you Tauruses are feeling quite uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable that you guys are feeling is because the new beginning is coming. And you know, there's no way for you to go back to the old way. So, you know, this solar eclipse is just going to be highlighting that, but still, it's definitely going to be highlighting a new way for you to be, you know, learning as well, but also, you know, finding new ways to, you know, when it comes to like any skills that you have that can also bring in more money, but also makes you more comfortable, but more happy. Okay. So guys, that was the solar eclipse in Gemini. That's going to be for until December. I hope you guys really enjoyed my card readings, and you know, I hope these messages have actually served you well. You know, feel free to come back to these messages. The timestamps are going to be below. Feel free to come back to these messages just for like a reminder. And you know, this solar eclipse, like I said, it's a crazy one. You know, there's a lot of energy that's going on, lots of crazy energy. We do definitely have to take care of like ourselves as well, because some of us could actually run on empty. But still, you know, we are going to be learning. This is a learning eclipse, and I hope that these card messages as well have helped you, because these cards, I forgot to actually say, these cards are eclipse cards, even though they are you know, they're major arcana cards. And I've always called major arcana cards eclipse cards, because whenever they come up, it is to do with something brand new happening. It's gonna, you know, when these cards come out, it actually, things, you know, your life is actually going to be changing. So that's how I see it. So, you know, I hope you, like I said, I hope you guys you know, enjoyed the messages, and enjoy the messages for your sign as well. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, have a lovely solar eclipse, guys, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.